The junkyard was silent, except for the hum of the city beyond its rusted walls. Mountains of twisted steel and broken machines loomed like the bones of giants, their shadows stretching across the cracked concrete ground. Ethan Kane swung his satchel over his shoulder and ducked beneath a collapsed starship wing. He'd been here almost every evening for weeks, slipping past the automated gates with a wink and a bribe to the bored guard. Most scavengers came for scrap. Ethan came for something else. He found them huddled in their usual corner, an alien mother and her daughter, wrapped in scraps of cloth, their eyes wary but hungry. "Evening," Ethan said softly. He pulled 2 food packs from his satchel and placed them on the ground. The little one, no more than 8 years by human guess, perked up immediately. Her scaled hands snatched the package, and she tore it open with sharp teeth, devouring the meal like it might vanish. The mother hesitated longer, her gaze fixed on Ethan, testing him, measuring him. "You don't have to watch me like that," he said with a tired smile. "I'm not asking for anything." Finally, she accepted the food, bowing her head in silent thanks. Ethan sat on a broken crate across from them. He didn't try to get closer. He'd learned quickly that trust took time. Her name was Saris, though she had not given it to him until the 3rd week. Her daughter was Lyra. They were Zerani, exiles from the Dominion Wars, stranded on Earth when their ship was shot down. They had hidden in the junkyard because it was forgotten, a place where no one asked questions. "You shouldn't feed us," Saris said one evening, her voice low and rough, her Zerani accent curling around the words. "It will bring you trouble." Ethan shrugged, biting into his own ration bar. "Trouble finds me no matter what. At least this way I sleep better." Her eyes narrowed. "Humans do not give without wanting something back." "Most don't," Ethan admitted. "But maybe I'm not most." Lyra giggled at that, her mouth full of stew. Ethan grinned at her, and for a moment, Saris's stern mask softened. Ethan was a mechanic, or at least he had been before the company folded and left him jobless. The junkyard became his second home, a place where he tinkered with scraps and dreamed of rebuilding. Finding Saris and Lyra, there had been an accident. Feeding them had been instinct. Night after night, he returned. He brought food, blankets, even a small lantern powered by salvaged cells. Lyra began to greet him with laughter, racing to meet him at the gates. Saris still watched him carefully, but the suspicion in her eyes had begun to thaw. One night, as they ate, Lyra said, "Mama used to cook like this all the time, before the fire." Saris hushed her, but Ethan leaned forward. "What fire?" Saris's claws tightened around the food pack. "Our home ship. Dominion soldiers destroyed it. My mate, he did not survive." Ethan lowered his gaze. "I'm sorry. Do not pity us," she said sharply. "We endure." He nodded. "I know you do, but enduring doesn't mean you have to do it alone." For the first time, Saris did not argue. The turning point came in the dead of winter. Snow fell thick across the junkyard, burying the rusted heaps in white silence. Ethan pushed through the drifts, breath clouding the air. He found Saris and Lyra shivering, their thin coverings no match for the cold. Without hesitation, Ethan pulled off his own coat and wrapped it around Lyra. "You'll freeze in this," he muttered. "What about you?" Saris demanded, her voice sharp with alarm. "I'll manage." He spent the night there, scavenging broken panels to build a makeshift shelter against the wind. His fingers bled from the cold, but by dawn the shelter stood, crude but strong. Lyra curled against him for warmth, and when he looked up, Saris's eyes glistened. "You are different," she whispered. Ethan gave a weary smile. "So I've been told." Word of them spread. Scavengers whispered about a human fool feeding strays in the junkyard. A gang came one night, armed with pipes and sneers, ready to chase the Zerani out, or worse. Ethan stood his ground. "They're with me," he said firmly, squaring his shoulders. The gang laughed. "With you? You gonna play house with lizards now, Kane?" Ethan's jaw clenched. "I said they're with me." When the first thug swung, Ethan didn't flinch. He fought back, taking blows meant to cripple, refusing to let the gang reach Saris or Lyra. Bloodied but unbowed, he forced them to retreat. Saris dragged him into the shelter after, furious and trembling. "Why would you do that? You could have been killed." Ethan spat blood and grinned weakly. Family looks out for each other. Her breath caught. For the first time, she didn't deny the word. After that night, Saris changed. She began to speak more, telling him of Zerani traditions, songs sung at night, spices that carried memories, stories of flight across their ruined homeworld. Ethan listened, fascinated. He told her of Earth, of broken stations and rough childhoods, of losing jobs and finding hope in unlikely places. They learned each other's silences, each other's laughter. One evening, Saris placed a clawed hand over his. "You have given us more than food. You have given us dignity. My daughter laughs again because of you." Ethan swallowed hard. "I just couldn't stand seeing you like that." "No," she said softly. "You could have walked away. Many would. But you stayed." Spring came, and with it, new beginnings. With Ethan's skills and Saris's sharp mind, they began repairing machines in the junkyard. Word spread of their talent. Scrap turned into working engines, broken droids patched into service again. Credits trickled in, enough to buy better food, real clothing, even tools. One evening, as the suns dipped low, Lyra came running to Ethan, arms wide. "Papa," she cried. Ethan froze. The word struck him like lightning. He glanced at Saris, uncertain. Her eyes were soft, her voice steady. "She is not wrong." Ethan knelt and hugged Lyra tightly, heart burning with a warmth he had never known. From that day on, they were no longer strangers bound by circumstance. They were family. Years later, people on the edge of the city would tell the story of the mechanic who lived in a junkyard, the alien woman who cooked meals with spices that warmed the soul, and the bright-eyed child who called them both home. Some laughed at the tale, dismissing it as myth. But those who visited the workshop on the edge of the scrapyard knew the truth. A human had fed an alien mother and daughter when no one else would. Day after day, meal after meal, kindness after kindness, until one day they were no longer just survivors. They were his family, and he was theirs.